Imagine a world where woolly mammoths still roam the earth. Picture their massive forms lumbering across frozen landscapes, their long, curved tusks cutting through the snow. It's a scene straight out of the Ice Age, a time when these magnificent creatures ruled the planet alongside other incredible beasts. Today, they exist only in our imagination and in the fossil record. But what if we could change that? What if science could bring back the woolly mammoth from extinction? Woolly mammoths were true giants of the last ice age, dominating the frozen landscapes with their immense size and strength. These magnificent creatures were perfectly adapted for survival in some of the harshest environments our planet has ever known. Towering over most other animals of their time, they were a symbol of resilience and endurance, thriving where few others could. Their bodies were covered in thick, shaggy fur, which provided essential warmth against the biting cold. Beneath this dense coat, they had a layer of insulating fat, sometimes up to 4 inches thick, that helped them retain heat during the long, brutal winters. This combination of fur and fat made them uniquely suited to withstand freezing temperatures and blizzards that swept across the tundra. One of the most striking features of the woolly mammoth was its long, curved tusks, which could grow up to 16 feet in length. These impressive tusks were not just for show, they were vital tools for survival. Mammoths used them to dig through deep snow in search of food, to break ice for water, and to defend themselves and their young from predators like saber-toothed cats and early humans. These impressive herbivores roamed vast areas from the frigid plains of North America to the icy steppes of Siberia. Their massive forms moved in herds across open landscapes, leaving deep tracks in the snow. The presence of mammoths was a testament to nature's power and ingenuity, as they adapted to survive in regions where few large animals could endure. Woolly mammoths were highly social animals, rarely seen alone. They lived in close-knit herds, often led by an experienced matriarch, much like modern elephants. These herds provided protection and support, especially for the young and vulnerable members. Together they would travel great distances, migrating with the changing seasons in search of food and more favorable conditions. Their diet consisted mainly of tough grasses, sedges, and other hardy vegetation that managed to grow in the cold tundra. Using their powerful tusks and trunks, mammoths would dig through layers of snow and ice to reach the plants hidden beneath. This constant foraging was essential for their survival, as they needed to consume hundreds of pounds of food each day to sustain their enormous bodies. These gentle giants played a vital role in their ecosystems. Their grazing habits helped shape the landscape, preventing forests from overtaking the grasslands and maintaining the open habitats that supported a variety of other Ice Age animals. By trampling snow and breaking up the ground, they influenced the distribution of plants and even helped create new habitats for countless other species. The legacy of the woolly mammoth is still visible today, reminding us of a time when giants walked the earth. Around 10,000 years ago, as the last ice age drew to a close, the reign of the woolly mammoth came to an end. The planet began to warm, drastically altering their habitat. Forests replaced open grasslands, and food sources dwindled. This changing climate, coupled with the growing presence of human hunters, proved too much for the mammoths to overcome. Their numbers dwindled, and eventually, they vanished from the face of the earth. The disappearance of the woolly mammoth serves as a stark reminder of the power of nature and the fragility of life. It also highlights the impact that humans can have on the planet and its inhabitants. The extinction of these magnificent creatures is a loss not only to the past but also to the present, depriving us of their presence and the ecological roles they once played. The story of the woolly mammoth does not end with its extinction. In the frozen wastelands of Siberia and Alaska, the permafrost has preserved their remains with remarkable detail. These frozen carcasses, some so well preserved that they still retain their hair and internal organs, provide scientists with a unique window into the past. By extracting DNA from these frozen specimens, scientists have been able to sequence the woolly mammoth genome, unlocking the secrets of their biology and evolution. These discoveries have also fueled the imagination, raising the tantalizing possibility of bringing these Ice Age giants back to life. Imagine a world where extinct creatures once again roam the earth. The idea of resurrecting species that vanished thousands of years ago, something that used to be pure science fiction, the stuff of movies and wild imagination, is actually inching closer to reality thanks to incredible advances in genetic engineering and biotechnology. What once seemed impossible is now being seriously explored by scientists around the globe. Today, researchers are investigating whether they can use ancient DNA, painstakingly extracted from remarkably well-preserved mammoth remains found in the frozen tundra, to recreate these long-lost giants. This DNA, sometimes tens of thousands of years old, holds the genetic blueprint for the woolly mammoth. When it comes to the woolly mammoth, the plan involves using CRISPR, a revolutionary gene editing technology, to modify the genome of its closest living relative, the Asian elephant. By carefully inserting specific mammoth genes, scientists hope to give elephants traits like thick shaggy fur, layers of fat, and the ability to thrive in freezing temperatures. These genetic tweaks could one day result in a living animal that looks and behaves much like the ancient mammoth, adapted for life in the cold, harsh environments where its ancestors once thrived. Of course, this is a really complex process, and honestly, it's full of scientific and ethical challenges. The work involves not just cutting-edge technology but also a deep understanding of genetics, animal biology, and conservation. One major hurdle is the quality of the ancient DNA itself. Over thousands of years, DNA degrades, making it incredibly difficult to piece together a complete, usable genome. Researchers must use advanced techniques to repair and fill in the gaps, often relying on elephant DNA as a template. Another challenge is finding suitable surrogate mothers. Scientists need healthy Asian elephants to carry these hybrid embryos to term, which raises questions about animal welfare and the practicalities of cross-species pregnancies. Still, the potential rewards are enormous. Not only could we witness the return of a lost species, but this research could also help us better understand genetics, evolution, and even how to protect endangered animals today. And perhaps most exciting of all, reintroducing mammoth-like animals to the Arctic tundra could help restore ecological balance to environments that are under threat from climate change, offering hope for the future of our planet's most fragile ecosystems. Proponents of mammoth de-extinction argue that reintroducing these grazers to the Arctic could have significant ecological benefits. Woolly mammoths, they argue, could help combat climate change by slowing the thawing of permafrost, which releases potent greenhouse gases into the atmosphere. Their grazing habits could also help restore the tundra ecosystem, promoting the growth of grasses and other vegetation that absorb carbon dioxide. Furthermore, the return of the woolly mammoth could bolster tourism and generate economic opportunities in remote Arctic communities. It could also serve as a powerful symbol of conservation, inspiring action to protect endangered species and mitigate climate change. The prospect of bringing back extinct species raises profound ethical questions. Critics argue that it is hubristic to manipulate nature in this way, playing God with the very fabric of life. They also raise concerns about animal welfare, questioning whether it is ethical to bring back creatures into a world that may no longer be suitable for them. Moreover, there are concerns that de-extinction efforts could divert resources away from more pressing conservation needs, such as protecting endangered species and preserving existing ecosystems. The potential for unintended consequences, such as the introduction of new diseases or the disruption of existing food chains, also raises alarm bells. The possibility of resurrecting the woolly mammoth is no longer just the stuff of science fiction or ancient legends. Today, it stands at the cutting edge of genetic science, capturing the imagination of people around the world. Scientists are now closer than ever to bringing back this Ice Age giant, using advanced techniques like gene editing and cloning. But as we stand on the brink of this remarkable achievement, we must pause and reflect on what it truly means for our planet and for ourselves. The idea of reintroducing mammoths forces us to confront our relationship with the natural world in profound ways. It challenges us to think about our role as stewards of the earth and whether we should intervene in the course of evolution. At the same time, it tests the limits of our own ingenuity, pushing the boundaries of what science and technology can accomplish. The tools we have developed are powerful, but with that power comes a host of new questions and responsibilities. The prospect of de-extinction compels us to consider the ethical implications of our actions more deeply than ever before. Are we playing God, or are we simply correcting past mistakes made by humanity? We must weigh the potential benefits, such as restoring lost ecosystems, combating climate change, and advancing scientific knowledge, against the risks, which include unforeseen ecological consequences and the possibility of repeating past errors. Should we bring back extinct creatures simply because we have the technological capability to do so? Or should we exercise restraint, recognizing that not everything that is possible is necessarily wise? Or do we have a moral obligation to let nature run its course, allowing extinction to remain a natural part of life on Earth, even if it means accepting the loss of some of our planet's most iconic and beloved creatures? The emotional weight of these decisions is immense. For many, the idea of seeing mammoths roam the tundra again is both thrilling and deeply moving. Yet we must also consider the potential suffering of the animals themselves and the impact on existing species and habitats. These are complex questions with no easy answers. The debate is not just scientific, but philosophical, ethical, and even spiritual in nature. The debate over de-extinction is far from over. It is a conversation that is unfolding in laboratories, universities, and living rooms around the world as people grapple with the possibilities and pitfalls of this new era. And it is one that will likely continue for years to come as technology advances and our understanding of the natural world deepens. As with any powerful technology, the ability to manipulate life itself comes with great responsibility. We must be vigilant, thoughtful, and prepared for unintended consequences. The choices we make today will shape the future of our planet for generations to come. It is up to us to ensure that our actions are guided by wisdom, compassion, and a commitment to the greater good. It is a responsibility that we must approach with caution, humility, and a deep respect for the delicate balance of nature. Only then can we hope to make decisions that honor both the past and the future of life on Earth. The story of the mammoth is not just about science, it is about who we are and who we choose to become in a world where anything might be possible. The future of the woolly mammoth, and indeed the future of our planet, hangs in the balance. The choices we make today will determine the fate of countless species, including our own. As we stand on the cusp of a new era of scientific discovery, we must proceed with both excitement and trepidation, recognizing the awesome power of our actions and the profound responsibility that comes with it. The story of the woolly mammoth is not just a tale of extinction and potential revival. It is a story about the interconnectedness of life, the power of nature, and the enduring impact of human actions. It is a story that continues to unfold, reminding us that the future is not predetermined but rather shaped by the choices we make today.